So I just got done watching Dark Designs, and isn't it fun to have shattered glass back in 1996? Also known as the episode that should have inspired a repaint by now. This one revolves around the Transmuter, a device the Predacons have created to forcibly reprogram a Maximal, and after showing just how cunning he could be in a fight, Megatron chooses Rhinox for this, and quickly regrets his choices. This is a weird one. We finally get a Rhinox-centric episode, but it's when his personality has been drastically altered, so it's not even a Rhinox episode in that. We just get basically Rhinox if he wasn't holding back. If he wasn't the Zen Rhino we know him in later episodes by. It's entertaining. Let's put it that way. It's entertaining to see him infiltrate and dismantle, in some cases literally, the Predacons one by one by one. And once again, similar to Primal in Guerrilla Warfare, really makes me wonder, why don't the Maximals just go all out? It seems like any one of them can handle every Predacon at the same time. And hey, we know from later episodes, at least 3 of our starting 5 characters are capable of doing that. So what's to stop them from just winning the war right out? Regardless, it's a cool episode just to see this style of plot. Going evil is kind of like a classic trope. G1 did it as well. It creates an interesting dynamic, but this one more so. Like in G1, they did this plot, and most of the Autobots were corrupted and turned evil. I believe it's just a small handful that escaped it. In the case of this one, it is but a singular Maximal. And I feel like if Megatron had chosen based on persona rather than ability, he might have made a better choice here. I feel like the Transmuter would have worked on Cheetor because he doesn't have any leadership aspirations. Aside from being rebellious, he has no problem with the chain of command. I feel like as a Predacon, he would be trying to impress Megatron. Because he would still be a kid, he'd just be a mean-spirited one. That would have worked for the numbers game. But this one, was more amusing. So let's go with this. The episode is delightful. Rhinox is basically turning this the Predacon ship into his own personal death trap for all the other Predacons. He wipes out Scorponok with a stack of what are supposed to be crates, but they're not very crate-like. They're very poorly stacked, very bad space management, which is not how crates work. And then he, like Home Alone style, rigs one to the roof and clobbers Waspinator with it, which results in the most slapstick we've ever seen Waspinator to this point. He is literally bouncing off the walls, buzzing. And when he finally stops because his pinball routine, he believes he's shrapnel, as in the original Insecticon. And he's declaring he wants to destroy all Autobots. This is weird. So Waspinator gets to make the first blatant references to the Autobots and Decepticons. To this point, all we had was Starscream showing up in Cheetor's dream, and we can chalk that up to an Easter egg more than anything. Here it is a direct reference, right down to him using more than meets the eye just before he blacks out. And in the process here, he also declares himself Wonko the Sane, which is not only a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, it is also the name of someone from the original Transformers news groups. Your pre-message board way of fans finding each other and getting together to talk. It's the earliest time that Transformer fans could gather and talk amongst themselves. So kind of a really big deal. And Beast Wars dropped a lot of references to that particular fandom. In particular, anytime they name a sector in Beast Wars, it's generally in reference to somebody from the old news group. So really cool. And this is a very direct one, as well as a very funny one. Wonko the Sane is one of the popular line requests from Scott McNeil. It's that same scene where Black Arachne establishes how far into the future we are. We are 300 years after the end of the Great War. We don't know exactly how long the war went on after G1, but whatever point it stopped at, we're 3 centuries out from that, which in Transformers terms really isn't that long. Transformers can live millions of years, so, like, by comparison, 300 years is like a week to you and me. It's not a big deal. I am assuming that once the war was over and this great conversion went on, this big reformatting to put everyone into these smaller Maximal and Predacon forms, and basically the entire reestablishment of Cybertron to fit smaller creatures, I'm assuming a lot has changed, and 300 years is now a big deal. But regardless, that gives us our time frame. It's a loose one. It's a loose one, because we also don't know, is that the end of the G1 cartoon? Is that the end of the Marvel comics? Is that the end of the Japanese continuity? We don't know. We have no idea. So we're just going with, 300 years at least. The episode is interesting as well because we're seeing an episode revolve around Predacons. Oh, they're getting their tailpipes stomped in, but they're definitely the center of the plot. The Maximals show up just to reconfirm what they are doing. Primal is actually playing this kind of smart. He is letting Rhinox cause catastrophes. He is letting this happen. Conveniently busts in, but hey, it's a cartoon at the right time to save him. But hey, it's a cartoon. I'm not going to harp on that one this time. But even on the back foot, it's fun to spend an episode in the Predacon base to get a good look at it for the first time, as really get a scale of how big it is and how much goes on there, and a little bit of daily life amongst the Predacons. Pterosaur in particular in this episode, proving true to his character. Literally any opportunity he can get to take over or to dethrone Megatron, he is down. And no matter how many times, he does not learn. He absolutely does not learn, and it is delightful. Even in a way, like, even Starscream falls in line and really only picks his opportunities. Pterosaur is just like, oh. I feel like the joke of Starscream trying to take leadership every time Megatron stubs his toe, I feel that's far more true of Pterosaur. Amusing to watch. It wraps up in a big battle scene where Megatron does trick Rhinox into the transmuter again and forcibly changes him back. And during the chaos in the final battle, it does get blown up, so we never see it again. Even though I feel like this is one of those weapons of the week where you really probably could build it again, and it would really behoove the Predacons to do so, because this could be like a really valuable tool that we never see again. And it's a weird fight scene. Aside from Scorponok just like clobbering Dinobot for a good portion of it, though the choreography between Primal and Megatron is so weird in this scene. Primal's got this weird bended like sideways leg thing going on. He's grunting and groaning a lot instead of fighting. He's twirling around his saber. They have the Indiana Jones moment where he is swinging around his sabers and just showing off how good his swordplay is, and Megatron just goes boom, just shoots him. Megatron also he vaults Primal into the air, and in one of my favorite oddball moments of the show, air juggles him with his laser. It wasn't enough to just like throw him away. He also caught him with a blast in midair, and then caught him with another one. It's a bizarre fight. It's a bizarre fight to end off the episode. But hey, the point of the episode was Rhinox, and this episode pulls it off really well. It's an enjoyable episode, and seeing Rhinox as a villain, a little bit of a precursor and maybe even an explanation to his Beast Machines casting, gives us an interesting and very different episode for the series. So those are my thoughts for Dark Design. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, one more episode. We are going on until all of this series is reviewed. So stick around. Hope to see you there. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.